The SEC is going after everybody now. Who's next? We're going to break that down in today's video. My name is Coach JV. What I work to do is make the complex simple. Hopefully, from my family's heart to yours, by letting you know I love you unconditionally without expectations, we can all take a deep breath and let you know that August on is going to get pretty wild. The great news about that, in the greatest chaos, if you can learn to transmute that energy into light, man, you could radically transform your family's life. And we've helped over 7,000 warriors worldwide join our community to do that exact thing. In the description down below, you can join our Warrior Academy, or you can set up a free consultation, or do both, with our Index Universal Life team. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I have my own insurance company where we're developing and helping people understand the infinity banking concept, doing what banks do, basically leveraging your money, securing and compounding. So it's not a get rich quick. That's one thing that people get so convoluted around. But the fact is, most people are not going to retire with enough money to live their life. So down below, you can set up a free consultation with my Index Universal Life team. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I have agents licensed in almost all 50 states. So that's in the description down below. All right, so let's dive right into this video. Man, the SEC is throwing darts now. Okay, so BlackRock MSCI draws scrutiny from U.S. House Committee on China. Okay, so the U.S. House Committee is going after BlackRock. It's really interesting. They're investigating. It's really interesting. So what I'm sharing with you guys is you're going to see a lot of FUD. Okay, you're going to see a lot of mud being slinged, because with the SEC losing to Ripple around XRP being a security, you're going to see so much FUD. Or is it part of a bigger plan based on the problem reaction solution that we're seeing, that we're waiting for the BIS to give the rules to the G20, which will be in September, October, November, December. We're going to see a massive pullback in September, October. The capital markets are going to come down really heavily, which is going to create great buying opportunities 1 year after the Shemitah. Okay, it's every 7-year cycle. We're going into the 8th year now, which is now when we planted our seeds for harvest in 2022, and now we will reap the rewards from our storehouse, right? So you have to stay calm. That's my message. We're all speculating. People who saying they have the insight, every single one of us is speculating. But do you really think BlackRock, the #1 asset manager in the world that controls the economy, 10 trillion under management, 10 trillion under management, larger than some countries, most countries' gross domestic product, and half of China's gross domestic product? Do you really think the largest asset manager in the world, think about this, that was tapped by the Federal Reserve twice to balance out the markets for America, is going to be taken down by the SEC or these organizations that are trying to take them? Do you really think the U.S. House Committee is going to take them out? Or is this a big distraction to turn your face over here and say, hey, we're going after the biggest asset manager in the world? It says the U.S. Congress Committee on China is investigating asset manager giant BlackRock and an index provided MSCI, saying they were facilitating investments into blacklisted Chinese companies, underscoring how tense relations between two countries are rippling, no pun intended, out into corporate America. This has been happening. Nothing new under the sun. The firms have facilitated the flow of American capital into companies the U.S. government have found guilty of fueling China's military. Come on, guys. I mean, man, this is the problem, guys. Our families sit here and read this stuff like, oh, look at BlackRock. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. It doesn't make any sense, guys. It doesn't make any sense. Like we're not even going to go into that. Like, let's just dive into what's going on next. Okay. So it's just, you understand what I'm saying, right? It's just look over here, look over here, look over here as a whole monetary system switches. Okay. So now a federal judge rules some crypto assets are securities in Do Kwon's Terraform case. So now everybody's getting all crazy now. It's like, oh my gosh, this judge now is saying that Ripple might be or XRP might be a security. But let's pay attention to what's happening. So we're going to watch a short video on CNBC, and then we're going to take a look at what Stuart Aldery says from the Ripple legal counsel.
Cryptocurrencies are securities, contradicting an earlier ruling in the court case between Ripple and the SEC. Now, this separate case was meant to decide whether the SEC can pursue securities fraud charges against Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon and he will face those charges. But it also likely sets up an appeal by the SEC over the ruling last month that Ripple's XRP token is not a security in all instances. In the new ruling, Judge Rakoff said, quote, "The court declines to draw a distinction between these coins based on their manner of sale, such that coins sold directly to institutional investors are considered securities and those sold through secondary market transactions to retail investors are not." In doing so, the court rejects the approach recently adopted by another judge of this district in a similar case. The contradicting opinion comes as the SEC is also pursuing legal action against crypto businesses like Coinbase, and that case hinges on whether it listed unregistered crypto securities or not. Coinbase's stock plummeted after the opening bell this morning.
It's called buying the dip, baby. Buying the dip. The FUD creates a buy-in. Woo! Gesundheit. Excuse me. Okay. So this is man, threw me off. So judge in the SEC versus Ripple is wrong to say secondary sales aren't securities court rules. So that's basically what they were talking about. So Stuart Aldery jumped in here and gave his clarity around this. It says a federal judge in New York split another judge who earlier this month ruled that Ripple Labs token was not a security when sold to the public on the secondary markets. He said, "Let me be clear about some confusion going around. The ruling in the Terra case changes nothing in capital letters about the Ripple ruling that XRP is not a security. Also, the Terra case is just starting and the judge has to accept everything that the SEC alleges as true for now. Or ruling came after a full factual report developed over 2+ years was presented to the court. I'll let the others dive into the Terra judge's comment, including his apparent misreading of the Ripple judge's reasoning. It says, missing the point that secondary market traders can't invest money in anyone or anything that they do not know who they are buying from." And then he continued on the next day over, 18 hours ago. It says, on a closer read, one, the judge actually agreed that orange groves alone are not securities without promising to cultivate the grove and to share the profits. There's a need to be arranged between contracting parties for their investment contract. Okay. It says tokens alone that are not intermingled with other rights and promises are not themselves securities. The comment about Ripple's ruling is unnecessary, confusing, and non-binding. So that is probably being thrown around to confuse people. Okay. And now here's where the SEC. So SEC is going to start throwing punches all over the place. I don't know. I would like to say that, there's, we always say there's dark and there's light and there's evil forces, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what I do know is there is a massive switch happening. Do you really think the SEC is all by itself against all the other organizations like BlackRock? Or do you think these are all decisions that are being made to create FUD in the markets so that they go all buy the dip, get us out of the market, change the financial system? Once it's safe, in their opinion, let us come in, right? I don't know. So you have to do your own speculation around that. But I'm doing the opposite of the 99%. That's all I'm telling you. Okay. So this is where the SEC is going to start throwing haymakers. This is where the caution comes in for a lot of influencers, people that have created tokens. This is where I've been explaining to you guys for years now. And I'm about decentralization. I'm not supporting a CBDC, but it's coming, guys. We're not going to stop that from coming. What I'm here to tell you, and I've been saying this for years now, is that they're going to come smashing down on these influencers that created tokens. That's just a fact. I don't support it, but that's what's happening now. SEC charges Hex founder Rich Hart with misappropriation of millions of dollars in investors' funds from unregistered crypto asset securities, offering that raised more than $1 billion. It says, according to SEC's complaint, Hart began marketing Hex in 2018, claiming it was the first high-yield blockchain certified certificate of deposit, and began promoting Hex tokens and an investment designed to make people rich. So think about that for just a moment. How many projects have you gotten into that give a large amount of yield that was all about making people wealthy, right? This is where the rub comes in. I'm not saying I support them going after people like this. What I'm saying is this is what's going to happen is they're going to start to, now that the SEC lost to XRP being a security and is now deemed a currency, and they're going to go through the appeal process, yada, yada, yada. You're going to see a lot of this stuff. And what they're going to do is they're going to remove what they call the bad actors, right? So they're going to go after now because they think, and this is the narrative. You're going to hear this, mark my word, is you're going to hear now they're linking up with Elizabeth Warren, that crypto is used for illicit activities. There's fraudulent people that are misappropriating millions of people's funds. And this is what the media will see. So the media will store, the public, 99% will stay out of cryptocurrency because it's volatile. It's fraudulent. Problem, it's fraudulent. Problem is that people like this were scamming you. That's what they're saying. Creates a reaction in the people, and the person who creates the reaction comes up with the solution, which is Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. They will now custody your cryptocurrency because it's safe, it's secure, and you can call a local banker if you're frauded. Do you see where I'm going with this, guys? These will age very, very well. We are moving into blockchain technology. Your banks will custody your cryptocurrency. That's what they're going to choose to do. We're heading into that transition right now. And that's what this next phase is first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Now you're going to see a bunch of influencers hitting the news. SEC sues entrepreneurs, alleging $1 billion. This is all over Fox. So this is what the public sees now, guys. So they're only going to see fraudulent, unregistered, scary, get rich quick, right? They're going to see all this stuff, which a lot of it is. A lot of the things that were put out there were get rich quick, and the people at the top of the house make money. If all the people made money, all the public made money, then why is everybody so poor? Why is everybody so broke? Why did people become millionaires in crypto and now they're thousandaires, right? Because they didn't diversify. They're using crypto as a retirement. And they're, as soon as they say when XRP goes to 589 or to 100 or $10, Lambo money, if that's the first thing you think about, then you're going to be broke, because rich parents have rich kids, poor parents have poor kids. It's a deep-rooted indoctrination. And until you rewire the foundation, you're always going to be in the same situation. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in crypto. If you have bad spending habits with $10,000 a year, $100,000 a year, you're just going to have $1 million in bills. So your job right now is to rewire the foundation, rewire the indoctrination, to rewire the subconscious mind programming, to understand how wealth actually works. Study The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very boring book. Most people can't get through it because it is boring. It's boring for a reason. Things that create freedom are not easy. Freedom is not free. Discipline and consistency done for a long enough period of time creates freedom. That's what disciple means. You're a disciple of something. So if your life is all messed up, you're a disciple of chaos. Your job is to transmute that chaos into something positive. Okay. So the next 12 months, as we go, actually we're under a year now for the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving will come, and it's going to go, I believe, super parabolic because of the institutional adoption, because of the BlackRock ETF, because of the institution starting to say that it is like, think about what the SEC did with Coinbase. They said that you have to stop trading all cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin. Think about that for just a moment. You can trade all cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin. You need to shut that down. That's what they said on the 31st. Think about that. The public hears that, okay? ETF. The wealthy clients at the banks have been able to invest in cryptocurrency, not the middle class, not the working poor, right? The transition is here, guys. We've been through it. We've been through it 2020. Cryptocurrency is a fraud. 2021, cryptocurrency is a fraud. 2022, it was a fraud. And now it's like, wait a minute. It's here to stay, but now we need to regulate it so you're safe. So you got to hold on for the ride, man. Don't trip by the dip, diamond hand, hold the line. And remember, crypto is not your retirement. It is an investment, a speculative asset that you should never invest more than you can afford to lose, but you need to have an exit plan. You need to have an exit plan. That's why I do up Merlin, which is coming out in August. You can exit the markets, and you need to secure, compound, and grow that wealth. I'm diversified across many different platforms: crypto, index universal life insurance, getting into real estate. We have precious metals, and we're diversified in business as well. We're securing, compounding, and growing our wealth. That's how you build generational wealth from lifetime to lifetime. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.